Elizabeth here. I wanted to have a video about perspective, expectations a little bit, and fuel and health and how those relate to each other. So I do want to give a couple of books that I recommend reading. Obviously, these ones were helpful, but you have to go through a training program to get most of those. So I've got Awakening Kundalini by Lawrence Edwards. He's a PhD. And it says right here on the cover, The Path to Radical Freedom. And then this is a good one. I didn't read this one. I read Modern Bushido, but it's the same author, Men of the Code by Bodhi Sanders. These books will be in the description so you can look them up. And then the Book of Chakras and Subtle Bodies by Stephen Sturgess. This is a really interesting book to read. You can get, I think you can get all these at the library. I know I got Awakening Kundalini from the King County Library on audiobook. And a lot of times you can, if you have a Kindle, you can get books directly to your Kindle digitally. So really, it's really easy to get all this information. If you don't have money to buy, you just need responsibility and an address to get a library card. And thanks to, how we exchange technology, it makes it easier to get books. You actually don't even have to go anywhere. You're in the safety of your own home. So fear not, children. So perspective. Let's talk about perspective. Some of these books are going to help you discover your current perspective, your current way of thinking, your decision-making process, whatever you want to call it. You need to understand yourself. You have to know yourself. And you have to learn about how you can be viewed by others. That is gonna, how you are is gonna shape your perspective if you have a negative or a positive perspective. So it's really important to have a positive perspective because then you're always looking for the good. And so you're gonna see it. Because you don't find things you're not looking for. So that's kind of I don't know. If you don't understand something I say, just think of it as a seed. Patience will let it grow. But I'll move on. So, your perspective is your attitude or your way of regarding. So it's thinking or feeling. I watched a really good video on YouTube. I'll attach it as a link in the description of this video, but it's called How to Be Brilliant Every Day. This guy's like a neuroscientist, and he goes around teaching people how to be brilliant. And basically, if you watch the video, he just talks about how your breathing affects your fight or flight response. So when you get uncomfortable or nervous, you'll kind of, if you're not a little aware, you'll go into this fight or flight mode. And what happens, he talks about in the video, is you lobotomize yourself. So actually cut off your way of thinking. And a lot of times people have this happen to them. They'll have a traumatic experience, right? It's trauma. And they'll kind of freak out and not even remember what they did. Not even remember what they said or did. So, knowing yourself is one way of beginning this process of being in control of your decisions and your actions at all times. And if we can do that, then we can start to, affect some change in our life. So make sure you breathe. Remember to breathe if you get freaked out. And then I want to go over communication between your mind, body, and spirit, because that also develops your perspective. And basically what we need to do is an investigation on ourselves. So we need to do some research on ourselves. And so, what questions do we ask? I don't know. There's another one. There's another couple books. I've already given you 3. There's a lot of books. You got a lot of work to do. I'll just say that much. But Think and Grow Rich, that is a good book. I can attach, I don't have it here in front of me, but I can attach that in a link as well. So let's talk about health and fuel, because they're related, right? I think that you might be considered a little bit delusional if you thought that you could just eat whatever you want and be perfectly healthy the rest of your life. Maybe you don't think about it, but that's part of the problem, is that we need to be thinking about everything. because our thoughts lead our actions. That's another topic we'll go into. So, realistic expectations about how food affects your body and what you actually need versus what you want. But ultimately, the food you put in your body is meant to do something. So, be real with yourself. Is it doing something or is it doing nothing but causing damage? So then we're eating food that's causing damage. We're not eating anything that's going to help us heal. So now instead of being able to heal from just daily wear and tear, now we're going to add some more work by cleaning out all this garbage we're putting in ourselves. So now we're even more tired because we didn't get any nutrients. We had to clean up this mess. We don't have enough employees. We got to make more, but we don't have the resources. You're young and you do it. You don't notice it as much, but as you grow old, you really start to understand. So I strongly recommend, do some research, read about the human body and the different organ systems, what they need. And I think you'd be surprised at what you discover. I was fortunate enough to serve as a volunteer firefighter in Mason County, and they paid for my education in firefighter 1 in hazmat. Hazmat really helps to let you understand how things in your environment affect you and how you can negligently expose yourself to hazards that you could easily prevent. It's just I feel it's good information for everybody to have. So, maybe everybody should serve on the volunteer fire department when they're a kid. Certainly wouldn't hurt. You learn a lot of interesting things. You learn about people. So, learn about what your body actually needs. You can start documenting what you eat now and what nutrients are in it. And that'll start really opening your eyes. But basically, you need to do an investigation on yourself. And I can tell you what I learned, but tell me some topics that you want to know about, some things that you struggle with. And maybe you want some strategies. I got strategies, So that's pretty much it. I know you probably were expecting more like, oh, tell me to eat tomatoes or broccoli or whatever. But I do have recipes and I can do cooking videos if you want. So, I was supposed to do a video tomorrow, but I might get it out tonight, which is Thursday. So plan on me doing videos every Tuesday and Friday. If I don't, I'll let you know. Thanks for following.